Club on MX24 TV. We're happy because of our guest this morning and the topic for discussion. Would you consider being a second wife? If you have your opinion about this, you have a contribution to this, do send it to us on our WhatsApp number 0550331511, 0550331511. Share your thoughts with us on this particular topic. Are you a second wife? Are you considering being a second wife? Why would you never ever be a second wife? We'd like to hear from you. Okay. Also very active on social media at MX24GH, wherever you want to send it to us. But back to the studio, we have a very own, the man himself, the relationship consultant, the guru, Kelly Daniels. Always with a good brand. See, the camera will capture you here. Fine kaftan.
And let's acknowledge the title, Dr. Kelly Daniels.
Forgive me, please. I take it back.
No.
Dr. Kelly
Dr.
Daniels.
Kelly. It doesn't come easy.
Oh
no.
Hey.
You didn't need to do all that.
And of all the stuff, Charlie, relationship, it's not easy.
Congratulations on the book that
Right.
you've launched. Yeah, how long ago did you launch that book?
Oh, so The Man You Should Not Marry is a book every man and woman should have, so that you remain qualified to be a man marryable and a man who needs to remain married. Married men don't think they need the book, but they actually are the ones who need the book, so that they know what they are not doing, so that they can do right, and the other way around. And for women, this is actually dedicated to you. For people, women who have multiple choices. In fact, one choice or multiple choices, and they seem same, but there's always a distinctive factor that separates them all when you know the man you should marry. Not every good man is right for you. That's what's in that book. It's actually the second edition. First of all, released about 6 years ago, but I had to add more flesh to it to empower you to know more, and that's why the book is out. If you want to have copies, you just go to Kelly Daniels' office on Instagram, follow, and then send me a DM with your name and number. I would not only see, the thing is, I'm not selling a book per se. I'm creating a learning platform where people can learn and then have the book, and we do reviews within the class. So you would have a WhatsApp group where you're going to be taught everything about love, relationship, courting, dating, marriage, and then you have to have the book yourself. And just follow Kelly Daniels' office on Instagram, and you can take it from there.
Beautiful. Yes. If you're considering being a second wife, you want to read the book first. And
read the book and know whether it's good for you or not.
Okay, but first of all, Kelly, if you allow us to say Kelly. But
Sure.
Is there any, first of all, what's your first submission on the idea or the culture of second life, if it is not a religious, requirement?
Without a religious requirement?
Absolutely, because of the Muslim or the Islamic religion.
You see, marriage is between a man and a woman, regardless of a religion. You can now decide to add on or not. It's the implications of having more than one we are going to be dealing with if I'm not going to go spiritual or religious, which I can't actually avoid in one way or the other, because marriage itself is based on the bedrock of spirituality. You cannot take spirituality out of marriage. So permit me say that I'll still be tilting towards, but I would say this: Muslim, Christian, pagan, whatever it is, we all supposedly agree to serve one God, supposedly. But I'll say to you this: having more than one spouse was not God's original plan. It became permissive by the desires of men to have more than one. It wasn't God's original plan. A man will leave his wife, his father and mother, and cleave to his wife. Now, forget about that. We all believe that Adam is Adam, regardless of the religions. Put it this way: if God, after saying it's not good for the man to be alone, thought that he needed more than one wife, it would cost God nothing to give him 10 on day one. He gave him one. Just one. Now, look at all the things that happened with just one wife. How much more when it's more than one? I don't know whether it's 2 or 3 or more. So basically, it was God's later permissive will to say, if you wanted, he told the king at some point, if you wanted more wives, you could have just told me to give you. Why go for another man's wife? So it tells you that God wasn't so against it at that time because it was okay, permissive. But what was the original plan? Just stick with one. However, so what's my take on it? I'm going to say that the consequence, I'm not even talking about responsibility, because you say, many people say if you have money, you're fine. Yeah. But money doesn't keep a marriage. Responsibility keeps a marriage. And money doesn't make you responsible. Money is not good or bad. Money reflects the quality of the heart or character of the owner. So you see, whether you can afford 10 wives or not, financially is not the factor. The factor is, can you be responsible for them parallelly, equally? And the answer, 99.9% of the time, is no.
Okay. Now, we went on the street to ask the same question. We also spoke to some people to share their views on whether or not they'll consider being a second wife. We'll listen to that when we come back.
Right.
My question will be, as you think about it, will be, because we can't go back to God's original plan, and we are where we are because he has allowed certain things, that is the permissible things. So we live in the permissions, not going back to the original plan, right? Now, some of the things that I've read or heard about the Islamic religion, why they can take on 1 or 2, and Kelly can confirm more.
To avoid.
I mean, all of these things. If a widow, orphans, so that they can, if a woman is married and the husband dies, then you can marry that woman and take care of that woman. Same as orphans and all of that. I'm not Muslim, so I may not quote the reason Allah gave them accurately, but it is out of this that they are allowed. It seems it is black and white, like very expressively in the Quran for them to do that. However, for our Christians, as he's saying, it's not too clear. I'm just learning that if you wanted another wife, you could have told me, I would have given you one without you going for another man. So we are where we are now, which means that we're in the permissible world now. Okay. So we'll now look at, in the permissible world, what can now permit a person? What can now permit a person to want to be a second wife? But before that, I know, before that, let's have your comments.
Will I or can I be a second wife?
Oh, no.
A second wife? Like, no.
My answer to the question if I would want to be a second wife is no.
I won't agree to be a second wife.
No, I wouldn't want to be a second wife. Why would I want to be a second wife in the first place?
No. And number one, if it's not for me personally, from the home I come from, I can't be a second wife. No. It will not even be allowed. And then coming to me personally, I don't like the idea of sharing.
One thing about me is I'm selfish. I don't know about other ladies, but I'm selfish. Even when it comes to my dad, my mom, I want to have them alone to myself. You get it? Not talk of my husband. Sharing him with someone. No, it's a no.
Even when it comes to my dad, I don't like other people calling him dad. I don't like other people calling my friends their friends. How much more a husband?
I wouldn't love to destroy somebody else's marital home.
I don't want to be the reason why another woman will shed tears.
I'm a Christian. Apparently, Christians aren't allowed to have a polygamous lifestyle. Secondly, me, I'm the attention seeker. I'm clingy. I mean, I want him all for myself. I can't stand having someone else to share my partner.
There are a whole lot of issues when it comes to this second wife wahala. I would always want to be the first option, the only boss, yes, of course.
No matter what I'm getting in the marriage, the man could be very rich, but then I'm not interested. I do not want to be a second wife. And I would love to raise my kids in a home where there is a fatherly figure and where the father is going to be present and love the kids the way they deserve to be loved. No divided attention, no rivalries between them and their other siblings. I would want a peaceful home.
Most of the times, when a man sees another woman, all his attention centered to the new one and then neglects the old one and the kids. I don't want to be the reason why somebody and the kids will be sad.
Being a second wife would be like accepting this drama from the first lady. She would see herself to be Oga. You know, these whole issues are a lot. When it comes to being a second wife, you have to share your husband with the first wife. And when it comes to issues relating to kids and property, and even when the kids grow, there's going to be some kind of difference, and then character difference when it comes to kids. They're going to have arguments and all that. And
I haven't been in a relationship before. If I'm going to be in a relationship, it will obviously be a relationship leading to marriage. So why would I enter a marriage and be a second wife? And no,
I cannot be a second wife because I would have to go and be in a marriage where I know that I'm sharing my husband with somebody else, and then Amy can never be me. Oh, it can never be me. So no, I can't be a second wife. Maybe in my next life. No, I will still not consider it. I can't be a second wife.
My family wouldn't be happy about it, maybe a second wife. So I wouldn't want to be in a marriage where my family doesn't approve. Yeah, so that's it.
but looking at the flip side, if probably if I achieved everything I want to achieve as an individual, had the number of children I want to have, and then God forbid my husband passes away, and then I decided to go and marry a Muslim, or I changed my religion. Yeah, I mean, I have a husband. That's just it.
I can't deal with someone else, fighting over like my man with me. No, I can't. I want to be the first and the only one because I want him alone to myself. Yeah.
Okay, welcome back. So let's situate this well. We're asking if you would consider to be a second wife. I do not think the question is suggesting if you want to be a concubine, a girlfriend, a home wrecker. No, we're asking that a man is married already, sees you and says that I want to marry you too, meaning that they're going to do whatever marriage is required, apart from what's legal, you cannot go to court and all of that, but traditionally what would consider you as a wife. So I don't think the question meant that your wife is home and you're sneaking behind her and you're creating drama at home and all of that. That's not what we're doing. Would you agree to be a second wife? So you've heard our future.
I like that.
You've heard our future.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Now the question will be, before we went on the break, that now we're where we are. What can really permit a woman, as you've said, that's not God's original plan, but he permits it. So I'm even thinking that we're in a world that is permissible by God. We're not living the original plan anyway. So in marriage, for being a second, what can really permit a woman to be a second wife?
Okay, I'll go secular and I'll go biblical again. Biblically, it's made for us to understand that there's going to be a time, and I think this is the time, when 7 women would cling on one man and say, you know what? Yes, biblically, it's in the Bible. It's I can open it to you.
Cling on to one man. Yeah.
There's going to get to a time in life. There's going to be an era where 7 women, not one, not two, that literally 7th wife now. Yeah. If we want to go that way, to say, we beg of you, we don't want anything from you. Don't do nothing for us. We'll even take care of you. Just give us your name.
Why?
Okay, for 2 reasons. There are more women on earth than men.
And who created that? Who did that?
It's no cause of anyone's. It's just life. You can't question nature. You can't question where we found ourselves, like we're talking about. So 7 women at some point will cling on to one man, and they're not going to be jealous of you want him. Oh, I actually want him to. Okay, you know what? Let's form a WhatsApp group. Let's arrange on how we can get this man to want us as a team of 7. And so we'll sit him on the table and say, guy, you haven't proposed to any of us, but we want you, and these are the things we are bringing to the table. Just give us your name. We don't want to be spinsters. We want a man over our lives, and we have chosen you to undertake this task.
Okay.
There's going to be a time for that.
Okay.
And it's happening now. But let's put that aside. Well, why would a woman want to go ahead for this? Number one, she may have tried several other men and have been heartbroken in one way or the other. But she's found this particular one who has become everything she's desired and doesn't want to let him go just on the platform that he's someone else's husband at the moment.
Okay.
So she says, every other person I've been with has treated me in this way and this way and this way and this way, detrimental to me, but I've found this one man who has treated me so well, and I don't want to lose him because he's married just to go and stick to another bachelor who's going to treat me in a certain way. Many people are from several marriages. You see a woman who is dealing with her third divorce. And so she's tired of back and forth with people. When you see a man who gives you what you think you desire as a woman, you stay there whether he's married or not. I see a lot of spinsters who are dating bachelors, dating a married man. And they're like, why? He's taking care of me. A woman naturally wants care.
So three things you've said now.
Yes.
Experience from past relationship.
From past relationships.
Desire.
And then care. Where care might mean you're taking care of me. You are sorting out everything that would have been a burden to me. Responsibility. So responsibility is key here. When they are dating a married man, they don't feel bad because they think that if you are a married man and you're still keeping your marriage, you are responsible. You can take care of me too.
That's some reverse psychology.
Exactly. They don't see it as, oh, you're booked, you're sorted, you're busy. You see that, oh, if you keep me. So that's an assurance that you're going to be fine. But the man to compensate the man, to make the man take the place and give to the man what supposedly wasn't getting from his wife.
No, actually, it's not that. Why many
A man wants to take wife. Number one, because every average wants variety. Don't give hope or you are a mom or you are this. What made you have different of people in the same woman? You have be afraid in one if man always men are not different man.
do you agree? Are not
Yes.
But the
That's
what plays out.
then would I be wrong to think that a lot of men who are confident to marry a second wife actually show a sense of power?
You see, power and authority are two different factors. Power is to show that...
You know why I asked this question, right? I'm asking this question because of the immediate point that you made about men wanting variety, and there was a point that you made that I missed, but I would have thought that a man who is able to have 2 wives, 3 wives, is a show of strength and power.
It is, if I may add.
But apparently,
please do.
Yes, I get what you're saying. It really is a status thing. I think now we've moved the conversation from the woman to the man
a
now,
little bit, yeah.
which she says will be maybe 2 of the conversation reasons why a man would like to marry a second wife. Definitely is a status thing, Kelly. Apart from the fact that we like variety, we want to enjoy all these things, we're not just talking about, I just want to taste and just have it aside to keep her.
I want to grow with her as well.
And other men to look at me and say, how do you have this beautiful, elegant, push your wife, this beautiful, you're not fighting, you have this third person, and so this thing.
I was about to say it's a power drug situation, where a man feels actually more respected. If I forget about marriage, even in the contemporary world, within
where we
give a certain accolades to a man who has multiple girlfriends. So as they come and go, it's like, yeah, he's the big guy. So one comes and leaves, and before she gets back up, another woman comes. So he has for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and so for average men, average low-thinking men, that is a big deal. That's wow for them. You get, but it doesn't make it a thing of dignity.
Kelly, please permit me. I'm going back to the book that I spoke about in the beginning, or you spoke about in the beginning. These young ladies, they're so young. I'm thinking, what is it about a second wife that will make all these young ladies say, I don't want to be? Is it the idea of sharing, beyond the idea of sharing? Of course, I don't want to share everybody with you. I don't. What exactly will make a person? And the second wife, is it the fact that you come second, makes you second? Because, like she said, they're going to marry you. Whatever was done for the first person, the same thing will be done for you. When you see your parents, you provide you what needs to be provided. What makes I think that people don't want to?
There's an original regard, respect, honor for the first wife of any man.
Why?
Because he started life with her.
What if you didn't start? What?
There's respect.
When they
it's just societal.
Okay.
There's just certain respect given to a woman for being the first of all.
Okay.
It actually means that every other wife considers her a senior wife and literally pays homage to her for making her at home. So they're not equal.
Okay.
There's no home where all are equal.
Yes.
The first wife is the queen mother of the dynasty.
Okay.
Every other wife submits to the one they met. Kayaba.
That's what women don't.
That's what women don't want. Women
don't want to
are very. Why do you think it is paramount? It is engraved. It is God insisted that women should submit. It's the most difficult thing a woman can do. Submit. Because you know what? Women are women are powerful. Don't think men are actually powerful. But women, they carry something men can't comprehend. So it takes a certain mindset of meekness to want to apply submission.
Okay.
Now, that's submitting to a man. How much more to a fellow woman who is perhaps as powerful as you are? So to submit to another woman is a natural no in the mind of a woman. Because following from the other side, regardless of which side you go, perhaps a man has 5 wives. The second wife submits, regards the first wife as my boss. The third wife submits to the second wife as the person she met. And then accords a different level of respect to the first. The fourth wife, just like that. So it's in hierarchies. It's actually in hierarchies. They're not equal, especially with fundamentals. It's in the Western world, they make it look like, oh, it's equal, we can do. But the real original essence of the second wife is to just put some level of order, hierarchy, you know, and say that you came before, so respect who you met, and da 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 da.
Just like childbirth, right?
Exactly. For children. So women don't know what submission is, except they are perhaps compelled to, unless it is something fundamentally intentional for a woman to. Look, let me speak for the women. I've never been a woman before, but as a counselor and a relationship consultant, that I try to be the best of, I see it in women during counseling that there's this unsubmissiveness. I mean, I'm not saying the man is right in anything he must have done, but it is difficult to bend your power. You know what submission means? Sub is under. Sub, S-U-B. S-U-B is sub. Submission means that the man has a goal. The man has an assignment. And you've got to put whatever assignment you have under his, so he supersedes you. Most times you know that you can actually deliver more than he's doing, but because he's the man you have, you've got to put everything you are under, just so that he can be glorified and take the credit, even apart from the fact that you're carrying his name. So it's a very, very difficult thing for a woman to submit to a man. How much more a fellow woman or other women ahead of you?
Okay. So as you're speaking, I'm taking my mind back to years ago. Maybe you were young, you go to a home and they say, oh, this man, he had 3 wives. This is his older wife. This is the younger wife or the second wife and all. You realize that there's some peace. It upsets your natural thinking. There's some peace because maybe those who came, as he's saying, the first one, they submitted.
To them, yeah.
They recognize that this person existed before them, and so they submit, they bend as he.
Actually, most times it comes out. It stems from the maturity of literally the motherliness of the first wife, who has accepted the man as he is. And just wants peace to reign in the house, regardless of what goes down.
In the most difficult situation where a second wife must happen, that is you breaking the rules of the Bible, society, and it must happen. Who has the most powerful tool to let it happen? The man who is asking for the second wife, the first wife that existed, or the new entrant?
Okay. It could tilt either ways, but the ultimate decision is the man's to make.
The man.
Do you know that it will amaze you that some women actually recommend, Master, get another wife.
Yes.
Some women don't even mind.
Okay.
But it still boils down to the man accepting, is this what I want?
Is there any justification for a man to want to have a second wife? Because I think since we're not saying, would you be a second girlfriend, we're asking a wife. For you to be a wife, it is a man wifing you, a man taking the decision that they want to make you a wife. So is there ever a justification? I remember one of our lessons before the last time that you came, you mentioned that your wife may not be your soulmate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. But you have somebody who, there were 2 options that you gave.
Actually 6. The stranger, the life partner. Sorry, the stranger, the friend, the life partner.
I like the life partner and the soulmate.
Yes. Okay. So if we leave it at 2, you can't marry your life partner. You can't marry your soulmate.
You can't.
You can't because you can have more than one life partner.
Right.
Typically, Gordon and I are close for all the media reasons. We are media colleagues. He's enhancing my life in my career. He's contributed nothing as far as I'm concerned in my personal family life. He's contributed nothing regarding my spiritual life. But when it comes to work and delivery, when I think about many people, Gordon has to be on that list because he's my life partner in that regard.
So who do you marry?
You marry a person who is a marriable partner.
So your marriageable partner may not be your soulmate, may not be your life partner.
May not be
so
your
by the
life
time
partner.
you're married, in your marriage life, you may now meet your soulmate. Let's go to Konongo and come back. Konongo, actually.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, please?
My name is Bambakia.
Your name is what?
Bambakia.
Bambakia.
Kia.
Fia. Okay. From Navrongo.
Yes.
Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I just read the topic and I could see your counselor, I think, Kate, talking so much about it. But he said one thing that I want to find out. It's so the fact that it's not God's original plan that men should marry more than one thing. That's what he said. And later again, he quoted the Bible saying that, I also know that verse that I can refer later, that there will come a time when 7 women will cling to a man, pleading the man to at least allow them to use his name, meaning just to be under him as his wife. Now, if we want to agree that the Bible is the word of God, and all this that said is God's statement, then again, how come that it's not original plan, yet God has said that there will be a time this will happen? So I want to say that maybe what we are thinking is rather the man made, that if you think that one man can be with one wife, then that is just human being's idea. Again, he said that I think the act of why men can even want to marry, we even want to marry, said again that men by nature like variety. Then it also means that men by God's creation, he has made them so. So I want to believe that it is our idea. So I think we should
tackle it all
between God's words and then our thinking.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bambanfia, for Navrongo. That's a good one.
His call is just in line with this. Please hear this. It's quite a long one. So it was not God's original plan for a man to consider more than one wife.
No.
This statement means God revises his decisions. Is this true?
No.
He's asking.
No.
I don't think that statement is true because God is all knowing and doesn't make a mistake. Your guest is strictly talking about marriage from the Bible. Aside from questioning our actions, would anyone want to be a second wife? The perfect answer can come from one who has not been born yet into a religion, family, or a custom. I believe as much as we respect religion and traditions, we should accord individual principles some reverence. To be forced into accepting to be a second wife is wrong. To decide to be a second wife, to decide to be a second wife is not if it aligns with one's own personal principles, and the man and the families of the first wife and herself accept to have you on board. Even with that, society will come questioning depending on where you find yourself. But I believe marriage is sacred and voluntary. So the decision to get into one or add up should come from the individual and accepted by other parties before it can survive. And this is from Operato.
That's it. You just said it.
Wait. That's marriage sacred and what?
Who makes something sacred?
It says, what is it?
Literally, the last
let's go to Tamale.
I like how he contradicted himself.
Oh no!
I know what you're going to say. He contradicted himself in the end.
Hang on, let's not go to Tamale. It is a long journey to Tamale, actually.
Right, exactly. Oh, Tamale. Oh, we are there already.
Yes.
Okay, we are there.
Hi, good morning.
Okay.
Please stand up.
What I believe is sacred and voluntary.
Okay, stay at sacred. Everything you said, I was going to say a lot, but you helped me
make it very easy.
Demystify the issue the moment you said something was what is sacred?
Holy. The meaning of sacred.
Okay, let's find out.
Go on and just be.
That's all.
Holy.
That's all it means.
So solemn, holy.
And what makes it that? It's God. You go back to the initial.
Marriage was no decision created by any clan, country,
community,
society,
nation.
It's not your forefathers' idea. It's not your father's idea. It's not the president of Ghana's idea. It's not marriage is strictly God's idea.
Okay, so wait, so do we have a caller before I read the meaning of sacred? Oti region.
Hi, good morning.
Today.
Oti region tone. Okay, so sacred.
What does sacred mean?
If you explain it's an adjective, Tamale is back.
Okay.
Hello.
Doesn't mean consecrated.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, tell me your name, please.
Yeah, I'm called Abdulaziz Pianuma.
Okay, tell me, what's your comment or question?
Yeah, I'm called Abdulaziz.
Yes, Abdulaziz,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead,
I'm
please.
from Tamale.
All right.
Yeah, but please, I want to add on to...
By all means.
Go ahead.
Regarding the
Go ahead.
the second wife. Period to the second wife.
Okay.
Unlike our tradition, the fact that the second wife has to come to be part of the family. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
If you are to enjoy the marriage, you have to respect the first wife.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that the husband should consider the first wife to be superior above the second wife.
Okay.
I don't know whether you are following me.
Yes, please. Yes, we are.
With you.
Thank you.
Even when the second wife, when the marriage is completed, the house of the second wife will hand over the second wife to the first wife.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first wife will be taking care of the second wife.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
On behalf of the husband.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a caller from Pristia.
Yes. Hi, good morning. We have to hold on to the calls for a minute. Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Please go ahead. Your name?
My name is Ibrahim Anyas.
Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. The program that you are doing, I think, is very educational.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I want to talk about the second wife issue. You see, it's God's original plan for a man to take multiple wives. But as I see now, when you check the population of the world, there are much more women than men. Because if you look at the population of men as at now, when you check at the prisons, there are much more men in prison than women.
Yes, indeed.
When you check out the, let's say, hospital,
yes,
there are much more men in the hospital than the women.
Yes.
When you look at many, like let me put it this way, accidental cases, there are much more men in that aspect than women.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, the women are going to be much more in greater number than the men.
Right.
So when you look at, I think Doctor was saying that when you look at the Bible, there will be a time 7 women will cling to a one man. It's very true.
Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1.
Now I have some Islamic hadith from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for saying that at the end of the world there will be at least 40 women clinging to a one man.
Hey.
40.
Congratulations.
Just because of these circumstances. So I think, but to be a second wife is the choice of the woman. If the woman can at least accept, because as Doctor was saying, it's something like submissive. If the woman can submit to the one man,
Yeah,
the man,
saying the same thing.
and the man she will meet at the man's house, then there's nothing wrong about going in and being a second wife.
Okay.
It's better to be a second wife than going to be someone.
Thank you, man.
You don't have any.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Because of our time, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for your submission.
We're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, I've got 3 questions. I've got 3 questions. So before we come, by the time we're coming back, my questions will be that it says that you from what you have said, the new ones, the new entrants must learn to submit because there's authority for the first one, which means that when marriage happens and there are two, when the second wife thing happens, is it equal or it must be equitable? That's one. I'll come back. Equal or equitable? That's one. Then the second one, after the Bible said that the time will come, seven women will cling. Did the Bible go on to say that it is wrong or bad?
He added, I'll add something.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
But he said we'll go to a break, so...
Breathe on it.
A quick commercial break. We'll be right back, guys. Stay with us.
Stand to win your share of up to 10 million Ghana cedis in prizes with Betway's Scratch and Win. You can earn your first scratch card by playing table games, slots, or quick games. Scratch and reveal a range of exciting prizes from smartphones to fuel vouchers and more. Visit www.betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No one rating. Betway. Betway. Bet your way.
My skin, my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care, made especially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beautiful Care with 5 oils and 5 tins for malnourishment. Helps reduce appearance of stretch marks in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care. Beautiful.
It's time to go big.
We're still on for our tutoring session later, right?
Oh.
Stated it all as it is, especially from an Islamic point of view. I'm hoping that is. You see, when you are a second wife, automatically you have two people to submit to. You're not answerable to your husband alone. You're answerable. He said that in the case of the absence of the man, the first wife takes responsibility for the home. So you're actually the first child of the marriage. Technically. It means that the first, he says that the second wife is handed over to the first wife
to care for
her.
Okay.
It means to say that the first wife is in a higher authority than the second wife on every ground.
Before the man is not available, even when the man is available.
Even when
is
he's
it
available.
Equality or equitable?
It depends on the three of them.
No, but surely there must be a general principle before we go to the
I think you answered that by saying that it's never going to be the same.
It will never be the same.
It can't be equal. It has to be equitable.
No. It can never. There's no way we would look at it. Yeah. A man can't even love two women equally.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Okay.
Equally.
Yes.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Please tell me your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Moses calling from East Region, Kojonia.
Beautiful. Please.
Moses,
go on.
Go ahead, yes. Moses.
Yeah, please, I want to just comment on the issue that we are discussing. And,
by all means, please do.
I really enjoy it because it's very engaging.
Thank you.
For a man to go in for a second wife, I think it will be conditional. Asking, let's say, I married a wife for 10 years and I'm looking for a child. and I'm not getting. So technically, a woman can decide for me that why don't you go for a second wife? And if that thing happens, then the decision has to come from the man. If he's really okay, or he's not okay with the decision the woman is taking, then he has to take it by himself, say that, oh, okay, let me go in for a second wife. But what happens in the marriage aspect is that some ladies don't know how to submit, as the doctor was saying over there. And it's really important that every woman needs to submit because of some life challenges and other things. So I'll urge the ladies to be submissive, because there are sometimes it's not like if you will be a second wife, you are not entitled to a lot of things. You are entitled, everything becomes what? 50-50. So the love from the man to the first wife is the same as equal as you. So there's no need to be saying that you prefer to be the first and you don't decide to be the second.
Thank you.
Thank
you very much. We have Martin on the line. Let me talk to Martin quickly. Martin. Hi, Martin. I think we lost Martin.
Okay.
Guys,
hold
make
on to the
your
calls
submissions
for a minute.
very brief for us.
We'll hold on to the calls for a second, except that the conversation about the sacred, you were on it before we went. So he's come back to say that, he said that revered was what I meant in my statement when I said sacred. We actually went out to look for the meaning of sacred, remember?
What's revered?
Sorry?
What's revered? I like to look at the word revered again.
Revered comes from the word reverence.
That's it.
Connected, so sacred means connected with God or a God.
Yes.
Exactly.
Or dedicated to a religious purpose and so deserving veneration. The opposite will mean religious rather than secular. And okay, so another meaning of it, embodying the Lord
is spiritual.
That's it.
And when it is spiritual, what do you mean by it's spiritual? Designed by who? By God.
By God.
Right.
Spiritual always goes back to a deity.
It's a deity.
A deity.
At the end of the day,
you're submitting
to.
A deity.
That is not human.
This is Nathan from Konongo. I think we should consider the fact that the first wife came before the second. Dr. Kelly Daniels has been saying that. Now, the question is, will the first wife consider a second wife from the husband since they've become one flesh?
What the Bible says,
if I talk now, they will say I'm tilting
what the Bible says that.
No, let's leave the Bible a little bit so that we are more balanced.
Okay.
Just in case you think I'm not balanced enough. I'm just speaking from a perspective that I'm so exactly. Now, a man and a woman become one at heart. When they get married, by every standard, even biologically, with the psychology involved. And that's why we have emotional attachments. There's a difference between emotional attachments and what I might call a heart connection. They're different. I can be attached to you but connected to somebody else. The thing is, attachment fades. Connection is more of a bond.
Okay.
So, don't let me play with words. I'm just trying to say that
I like it.
There's always going to be a difference.
Okay.
And so a man and a woman becomes one, starts life together. And then an addition. That woman will never get 100% of the man's attention, even when they're alone together in the house and one wife has perhaps gone to the market. A man's, can I say this quickly? A man doesn't have the capacity to multitask
at all,
like women do. In fact, women can have more husbands, if possible, than men can have more wives.
Sure.
And these women will manage the men. Hey, have you seen a cheating woman? A cheating woman can do stuff with 7 men nicely, and the one she's living with feels she's the only one. It happens so nicely.
My thinking, because I've been told since I've been told that when a woman is attached to one person, that's really, or when they're emotionally connected to a man, they're not able to, elect themselves.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that woman. I'm talking about a woman who wants to play, and a woman who has detached herself from this man but is still with him.
Then it means that he's not with. Then if he's detached, then she's not there.
That's why it's called cheating. When a woman is genuinely connected to one man, there's nothing any man can do to entice her.
Right.
Because women are not even moved by what they see, actually.
Right.
They are moved by the attention they get. But if she's content with the person she's with, she's fine. What I'm just saying is this. The consequence of having an extra woman in a house, regardless of biblical or Islamic standards, is more work than ever man should make. One example. In 2023, in this dispensation, to raise a child values in what have you, is more difficult now than it was in our time. Because we have the social media to deal with. We have multiple coaches on that same child. Now, you see, so raising a child in that perspective, you need extra effort to raise one child. How much more three in one family? And then every other wife having at least 2 or 3 to themselves. That is not anything far from a pandemic in society.
Okay. I just have one more question.
I'm telling you.
I just have one more. I just have one question. I want to know what the future is looking like. Just what is the future looking like when it comes to marriage, especially now that a lot more people are becoming woke. So there's detachment from religion. There's from things. Now, like, when it comes to more young in so yeah, this take away
what of us not faithful.